The times where people ignore the red flags and say, let's just keep pushing, those are the times where you fail. The majority of things that we're buying are created by men. You always learn more from your failures than you do your successes. I love creating, and I think that as women, you're not often given authorship, yet women represent 85% of people making purchases in homes across all categories.
For those who are not in the Hollywood world, what is wrong with her taking over the film?
I've never seen it before in my 30-plus year career in Hollywood. And an executive producer is below a producer in the film world. An executive producer signed up to be an executive producer, and that's it.
In the often turbulent and often unpredictable world of Hollywood, where careers are built on charisma, talent, and the fickle embrace of public opinion, the Deadpool franchise, with Ryan Reynolds as its irreverent, fourth-wall-breaking, and undeniably charming star, had become a global phenomenon, a guaranteed box office success, and a cornerstone of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yet, even in this seemingly unshakable environment, a storm began to brew, a controversy that centered around Blake Lively, a highly respected and prominent actress, and the potential impact that her actions and the ensuing fallout could have on the future of this much-loved franchise, and ultimately, on the career of its leading man. The question on everyone's mind, and one that has sent ripples throughout the industry: how could the choices, actions, and evolving public perceptions surrounding a star's spouse lead to the departure of the very actor who, in many ways, was Deadpool, redefining the superhero genre in the process? This is a story of clashing creative visions, behind-the-scenes machinations, the pressures of celebrity, and the often brutal realities of the entertainment business. It is a story that, unfortunately, has happened before. Before we get into the meat of this story, please show your support by subscribing to the channel, hitting that like button, and most importantly, dropping your thoughts and predictions about the situation in the comments below. We love hearing from you, and your engagement truly helps us to create more content.
It is important in times like these to have a distraction. And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. Thank you for providing us with that distraction. I'm grateful. I think we're all grateful. And I think we're good.
The initial whispers of the developing crisis, the first inklings that something was amiss, did not originate from the carefully constructed and controlled environment of a Marvel Studios production set. Rather, the first cracks in what had appeared to be a solid facade began to emerge around a separate standalone film project, a project that Blake Lively had, at one point, signed on for with apparent enthusiasm and a sense of genuine excitement. The director of this particular film, an individual known for their ability to craft emotionally resonant stories, had been granted substantial creative control over the production, serving not only as a co-writer, but also as a producer, and even taking on a prominent role in the film's cast, thereby affording them considerable influence over nearly every facet of the production. These roles, in effect, gave the director the power to shape the overall creative direction. This film project, in many ways, was meant to provide Lively with an important opportunity. It was meant to expand her already impressive portfolio of work, and it was meant to further solidify her position as one of the industry's leading actresses. However, as the project moved forward, and as tensions and disagreements arose...
For those who are not in the Hollywood world, what is wrong with her taking over the film?
I've never seen it before in my 30-plus year career in Hollywood. And an executive producer is below a producer in the film world. An executive producer signed up to be an executive producer, and that's it. As the time progressed in this film, she decided that she wanted to be a producer. She started to make edits. She wanted to be part of the editing team. There were people hired, like human beings actually hired to do the editing job, who had done work as editors. She wanted to be part of that team.
Early reports, which would later be confirmed by various sources, indicated that tension began to grow between Lively and the director. The disagreements, according to individuals with direct knowledge of the situation, centered on a variety of key areas, including proposed revisions and adjustments to the script, the planned marketing and promotional strategy that would be implemented in the lead-up to the film's release, and, perhaps most significantly, the film's ultimate creative direction. Sources close to the production began to describe Lively's increasing dissatisfaction. She expressed a growing sense that the film was evolving in a direction that did not fully align with her own artistic vision, and that the choices being made would compromise her own personal brand, which, in turn, was a point of friction. These disagreements, as they developed, went far beyond simple creative differences, and they represented a fundamental clash of artistic principles and a lack of agreement as to what the intended outcome of the project should be. These disputes and others would eventually lead to the unraveling of the entire situation. Then, the situation became even more complex and arguably much more explosive, with the appearance and subsequent release of leaked text messages. These communications, said to be from Blake Lively herself, became a focal point of the unfolding saga, providing a new piece of evidence. The text messages appeared to put the blame for the emerging issues and disagreements squarely on the shoulders of the film's director. The text messages alleged that the director had been acting in a way to manipulate media outlets. The text messages contained strong implications. The allegations led to a great deal of discussion and debate. The situation quickly became even more complex, and the public's attention soon turned to the role that Ryan Reynolds would have in this situation. Did he know what was going on? Would he get involved? The leaked text messages, in some cases, also implied that the director had been intentionally trying to hurt Lively's public image. The situation sparked comparisons to other scandals. As the story gained momentum, focus inevitably shifted towards Ryan Reynolds and the potential implications for his future with the Deadpool franchise. In Hollywood, perception is key. It is important to make sure that the public sees you in a positive light. So the anticipation surrounding Reynolds' performance, a role he helped create, and that had, in time, become iconic, made every one of his actions subject to scrutiny. Marvel, which is known for its tight control over its brand, began to express its concern. Whispers began circulating that executives were getting increasingly worried that the emerging controversy might have a negative impact on the Deadpool brand and, thus, on the studio's bottom line. They were very concerned. The studio's chief aim was to protect the reputation of the Deadpool franchise. Then, the first clear sign came when Reynolds limited his promotional activity for the project. This action, more than any other, grabbed a lot of attention. There were rumors that Reynolds had been having issues with the crew.
And money is on Blake Lively being wrong. All right, you guys, it is Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni Day. Finally. I've been teasing that all week. And let me just say to all of the women out there that are watching, no matter what you do in life, you never, ever, ever go full Amber Heard.
As the story grew, more and more details came to light. The situation became even more complicated, and it became a point of discussion. So as time went on, it became clear that the entire situation was beginning to have an impact. The next step? What were the ramifications? Let us know in the comments what you are thinking. And now, the moment we had been waiting for. The moment when everything changed. The moment that has made so many people question what they knew. The announcement had been made. It was a lawsuit. The company was suing Reynolds. The lawsuit and its implications quickly spread throughout Hollywood. What are your thoughts on this? As the situation evolved, the focus shifted to the studio's efforts. They were looking to protect their brand. They made a series of decisions. The impact of the lawsuit was massive. What would this mean for the future? This is, of course, where everything shifted and the questions began. The allegations. What had Ryan done? The fan reaction was quick and dramatic, with many expressing their views. The allegations were now out in the open, and the legal fight began. The situation created an incredible amount of tension. Would Reynolds and the studio be able to work it out? For anyone not familiar with Hollywood, the story now had all the pieces. What happened here? And what's going to happen to the franchise? In the end, as the dust begins to settle, and as the full story has yet to be told, one thing remains undeniably true. The situation has had an impact on everyone. In this situation, there were no clear winners. The question, of course, is what happens next. This is a great opportunity to hit the like button and subscribe. Here are some additional questions that you can discuss in the comments. There were so many questions and some answers. We had been discussing the facts, but what about the human element? What would Lively and Reynolds do? There were some key figures. What would they do? Would Lively and Reynolds go back to work? What was the plan? Would the director be able to survive this? Would he find a way to succeed? It will be some time before everything is resolved. And there you have it. A truly amazing story. What are your thoughts? Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Drop your comments below and give us your reactions. What do you think the final outcome will be? Did you see this coming? Let us know, and we'll see you in the next video.